What's going on, guys? Today we're going to build a coil for a Kayfun 3.1. I got a 28 gauge piece of Kanthal here. It's like 5-6 inches long, and I'm going to wrap this like I'm going to do 9 wraps around a 5/64 drill bit, and I'm going to leave the ends kind of long. You can see that there. That's the other piece of the wire right in there. I'm going to do that for a specific reason when I go to wrap the coil around the screws on the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here real quick. You just want to try to make these wraps as close as possible. You know what? I'm actually going to do the other side because I have a kink in that wire right there. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Undo my first one. I'll take some pliers, needle nose pliers here, and pull the ends. Cut off this excess, probably about right there. I'm going to try and straighten these out just a little bit. And I actually want these going in opposite directions. Something like this right here, if I can get this to stay. There we go. I don't know if you can see that or not. There you go. Okay, so I'll take my fingers here real quick. I'll just kind of mash those coils together. We'll take it off the drill bit. Take some tweezers. And I'm going to get, I don't want to get these legs caught up in there. I want to get just on the outside of them. There's somebody sending me a text message. So I want to get on there something like this right here. So you want to get, see how that leg is on the outside? You don't want to get those wrapped up underneath there because you don't want your coils to overlap, or else you'll have hot spots and the coil will more than likely be no good. So now we want to take a torch that I don't have ready. There we go. And we're going to heat this up for a good 5 to 10 seconds or so, so it glows nice and hot. And do the leads or the legs, whatever you want to call them, just to make sure that there's no debris, anything like that on there. Wow, if I could hit that leg, there we go. And we'll do the other side here real quick. Set that down, and this will probably be hot, but I'm going to show you here up close so you can see what this looks like. So you see what we got there. So you want it to look something like that right there. We want to take our coil, put it back on our drill bit, just like that, and then we're going to take this and lay it across this deck. Something like that right there. That way we're going to have one of these leads coming around one side and one going around the one around the positive, one around the negative. So that's looking pretty good. Alright. And this is from the top. I'll fire it. Lights up from the inside out. And it's not the best coil I've done, but it works, because it gave me a little bit of a fight there for a second. I'm going to check these screws one more time. I should probably just leave them go, but give that a nice little turn there, just to shore it up a little bit. You see that one there is, I can't tell because that screwdriver, I don't have a screwdriver that really fits this properly. Yeah, that's extremely tight. And there we go. Okay, so I got some 100% organic cotton, like this right here. It's been boiled twice, and boiled, then dried, or boiled, rinsed, then boiled again, then rinsed again, and then dried for 24 hours, just leaving it out in the open. And that's what I use for wicking. Okay, so we got our cotton twisted. Then we're going to try to run it through, try to fish it through the center of the coil, like that right there. Then we just want to try to work it through there. You don't want to pull real tight and then pull the coil loose or anything. And you don't want this too tight, you don't want it too loose. You want to be able to move it a little bit there because it's going to expand once e-juice hits it. So once we get it like that, we're going to cut this off, and I'm probably going to cut it off about flush with the base here. So we're going to pull these up, put the chimney around, we're going to pull these out, and then find the threads on this here. And they're somewhere, there we go. So we thread that down. Now here's our two pieces of cotton. And I'm just going to cut these off about almost flush with the top here, but just a little bit above it. I want a little bit more cotton in there. So we'll cut that off. Let's get that out of there. Then we're going to take the tweezers here, and we're not gonna jam this down in here. We're just gonna kind of lightly push it down in there. So we just want to push this down in here real lightly, right around the sides, while kind of, if it makes any sense, kind of keeping it fluffed up a little bit. We don't want to jam it down in because we don't want it to cover up these canals right here. So that little canal, you don't want to cover that up, so you just want to kind of push it down in there real light. And then I'm looking at it here, and then I'll show you what I got. So something like that right there, that'll work. Now to test this out before I reassemble the tank, I'll take a little bit of my e-juice. I got some, I think this is vanilla and French vanilla and strawberry, so like a strawberries and cream that I made. I'm going to take this and put it down in here, go right on that coil, put it right in that cotton. I'm just going to wet it up. Let me have a look here. Just make sure this is all wet. So we want to wet that up. Now we can fire it, because if you tried to dry fire this coil with that cotton in there, obviously it would catch on fire. So you always want to wet it with some e-juice. Now we can test the resistance for this and make sure that it's not shorting out. And there you go. So you see that it's working. Now what I can do, man, that stuff smells good. What I can do here real quick, which I actually should have done earlier, is pull out the ohm reader before I started going and wicking this up and all that. I should have done this earlier. So anyway, this will still work. Obviously the coil's firing. So we'll check our resistance. We had 9 wraps on this coil, so we ended up with a 1.6 ohm coil. and I like my coils between 1.5 and about 2.1, somewhere in that area. And that's for my all-day vaping, but if I do any sub-ohming or anything like that, then that's a different story. So, but for my tank coils and stuff, like the RTAs or whatever, rebuildable tank atomizers like these, Kayfuns and all that stuff, I like my coils about in this area. 1.5 to 1.8, but if it's up around 2, that's fine. So, there we go. We know our coil's working just fine. And another thing about this too, is you see three sets of numbers there. So that's, sometimes one of these numbers will jump around, and that's usually a good indicator that you're either a screw is loose in here around the coil, or the coil's loose, just something like that. So you want to make sure that it's good and stable like this right here. So just a little FYI. So now we want to take our chimney piece, this part here, we'll thread it in just like that. Then we want to take one of our tank pieces here. It doesn't matter, these are both the same piece, so it doesn't make any difference. Just grab one and they thread the same way all the way around. There you go, like that. Take your plastic piece, or if you have the stainless, I also have stainless, but I like to use the this polycarbonate piece here for I think it's what it is. It's plastic, so I can see my juice. I like to know what I've got in my tank. And we take our other piece of stainless, put that together there. And now a lot of times this is the Kayfun 3.1, so this is the one that has you got a fill hole where you can take something like this. Sorry about that. You take something like this and you put it in there to fill the tank. Then you got an air adjustment screw, and then you got your air hole. So you got a little flathead screw down in here. So you see the little set screw down in there, that's to adjust your airflow. Then that's your airflow hole, and then that's your fill hole. Okay, so you would take something like this and put it, put it right in there and just push in. There's like a little door there to fill it, but I'm not going to do it that way. Of course not. I think the better way to do this, in fact, I'm going to pull this completely off, and I just dump it in until it gets right up to about just about right in here, just below the lip, just put it that way. Okay, of course I don't know if I have enough juice for this or not, but we'll see. This made this stuff last night too. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our tank cap, take the tank cap, put it on, and just start the threads just barely. See how I still got some threads sticking out there? Alright, then you turn it upside down like that, and then all the juice rushes down. Then you slowly start screwing it together. So I'm going to put this back on here, give it one more vape, and that'd be it. Here we go. So there you go. Kayfun 3.1 coil build. It's 1.6 ohm coil, 28 gauge Kanthal, wrapped on the 5/64 drill bit, doing 9 wraps, then a cotton wick, and it's all for good. Take care. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with everyone. And thanks for stopping by. Take care.